I couldn't think of anything to put before the intro, so here's my dog. What is going on, my island hoppers? I'm Pennyboy69. I'm currently at an RV rest spot. It's just a nice, calm place where people who are camping just kind of chill out and do some stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm calming down, doing some stuff. I got nothing much to really say, but I am going to talk more about the channel and why I'm at this RV rest spot after our main video. So stay tuned for that, or if you're like one of those guys and you have short attention span like me, you can skip to the end of the video. Anyways, let's go. Now, you might be wondering, what video could I be possibly making at an RV rest spot? Well, like for me, there's a playground here. Which means, yes, this is already episode 2 of Playground Rankings. So yeah, let's get ready for that. Now, right off the bat, I have to say the colors are definitely pretty good. The yellow and green on the plastic look really great, and the red and blue contrast to that in the metal. And yeah, another thing is that the texture, it feels really great and soft, yet still hard enough to be stable. So yeah, now let's get on to all the equipment parts. Now, unlike my other rankings, this is gonna be all about one, count them, one piece of equipment. But it's pretty big. I definitely say it's great being big. Now let's go ahead and start off with the top area. After going up these stairs, we got nothing much. Got little jail cell bars here. Pretty cool for some playtime, I guess. And on the opposite side, we got our first slide. I'm gonna go ahead and go down and give you my experience. Yeah, definitely gotta say that the slide was definitely something. It had those little ridges right here, make them comfortable when you go down, and the whole thing's bumpier, so it actually feels pretty good when you go down. And it's even floating upwards, which at an angle looks pretty sick. Anyways, if we go back up these stairs once again, and instead travel down here, we can see some other stuff. First up, we got this little climbing area where you can climb up in here, which we'll be doing in a second. And we even have these slides. We got 2 of the same slides paired up each other, which is exactly the same as this slide, except it looks like it might be slightly longer. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and test drive them. All right, here we go. Whoa. All right, so I have to say, this part right here is definitely a little bit too long. It definitely feels a little bit off. So, you know, gotta put my complaint somewhere, and this is probably the most of it. Up next, we got the climbing thing. Let's go ahead and try this out. Whoa. Oh, it's, whoa. Yeah, that's definitely something. Let's try going down. Huh. Well, I definitely have to say something about that, and it's definitely something. Not something I would call a climbing thing really much. These things have a little bit of problems where it like keeps twisting, and it could risk a child falling off. Could say, honestly, this can definitely use some improvement. That's probably the only thing that's I can say that bad about this. But let's get into the final stuff. Over here, we got this thing. Looks to be a bongo. And a pretty good one at that. Who am I kidding? It kind of sucks. But it does get the job done. You probably can't really hear it on the camera that much, but it does play a good sound. And you can also do some of my favorite activities, which is underneath the playset. So that's pretty good. And lastly, got this thing. Oh, it spins. Really great. Ow. Got a little bit of static shock. There's even some beads in there. I don't know what for. But it's definitely for some ASMR probably. Then once more while I back away. And yeah, that's the entire thing. I know it's a pretty short one. I had to drag it out to make it basically the same length as the first episode. And this also gave me a better base for what these videos should be. Now, overall, I gotta give it a good ranking because for something that's meant to be played in for a good solid, maybe a half hour or two, it can definitely use some improvements in some areas, especially the climbing thing. But one thing I can say about this is that it gets the job done, okay? This isn't a playground that a lot of people will be going into often because this is an RV rest spot, a place where you stop in the middle of a road trip, which is what I'm doing and I'll get into in a second. But as for the whole park, a ranking I gotta give it is definitely a good solid 8 out of 10. Surprisingly, this is better than the 4 fields. Even though I go to the 4 fields often, I've seen it all. This is a new, fresh start. And definitely something I would recommend to anyone who is out here. Too bad everyone's most likely asleep. So, you know, that's something. But still, solid 8 out of 10. If I were to give any critique about it, I would say, fix the dang climbing thing. That's probably the one thing that might bump it down to a 7.5. But I'm being generous enough for an 8. Anyways, now I gotta get into all the stuff I promised at the start and near the end of the video. So, real question is, what am I doing here? Well, I'm currently on my way to a NASCAR race area that I've never been to before. Maybe there's another park there that I can review with other people potentially. Don't have a clue on that. But one thing I can tell you is that videos that are happening soon. First off, Nubosaurus Egg to Purple Magmadon is definitely coming out after this video. Who knows if it's coming out today or if it's gonna be coming out on the trip, the rest of the trip to that NASCAR race. Have no clue, but there's one thing I can say, and that is that I will 100% be making videos there. So stay tuned for that. And wink wink, YouTube Shorts might be on the way. Instead of being on its own channel, I can make them on this channel. Sorry. Anyways, I'm Pennyboy69. That was Playground Reviews episode 2. And yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. See you guys.